In half an hour, Panorama, but first, tonight's edition of Inside Out London.
Hello there, I'm Matthew Wright. You're watching Inside Out London. Here's what's coming up on tonight's show. It was designed to help people get onto the property ladder.
I saved up hard. I actually worked 2 jobs to earn the money.
But why has the right to buy dream turned sour for some?
I bought this property thinking that it was going to bring me peace, but it's brought me lots of problems.
How little Lily helped bring a pioneering cancer treatment to the UK.
Lily's a real inspiration to us. So we're trying to look for ways to bring these innovative treatments into the UK, and then we can help all of the children that are like Lily.
And we get a sneak preview of the city's heritage gems as they go on display for the very first time.
Members of the public will have a great opportunity to see our extra special treasures, our Magna Cartas, our Shakespeare deeds, our Hook diaries.
Over the last few decades, right-to-buy schemes have helped thousands of London council tenants buy their own homes. But for some, this has proved to be a poisoned chalice. We've discovered a number of homeowners have been forced to sell their properties at well below market rates to make way for redevelopers, leaving many facing financial ruin. We sent property expert Luke Doonan to investigate.
They were once stigmatised by sky-high rates of crime and poverty. But these days, flats on estates like this are being snapped up, with tens of thousands sold at cut-price rates under right to buy. Now the government wants more Londoners to sign up to the deal. It recently increased the maximum discount for council tenants wishing to buy their homes to £100,000.
It's been sold as the opportunity of a lifetime, the chance for families from humble beginnings to get themselves a secure footing on the London property ladder. But actually, the right to buy your council home may not be such a great deal.
I think that people who've bought right to buy on council estates can be treated very poorly.
I can't believe this is what I worked all my life for, to end up with a property like this.
I bought this property thinking that it was going to bring me peace, but it's brought me lots of problems.
Wow, it's beautiful in here.
Have you ever the park?
Spacious.
So we're in a modern development in Bermondsey Square, near London Bridge Station.
This is Beverly's dream home.
This is a nice place. I love the kitchen. It's nice and spacious. The floors are beautiful.
In fact, this place is a bit like her current home, which is also in the borough of Southwark.
Exactly.
My flat's quite spacious.
This is a comparable size to what you have. From here, you're only a mile to where you live.
But that's where the similarities end.
This flat is 6 times more than the value of your property.
Yeah, that feels that it's non-affordable for me, really.
This place is on the market for £675,000. Yet according to Southwark Council, Beverly's home is only worth £117,000. When Beverly bought her Southwark flat on the Aylesbury estate over a decade ago, she was assured it was a great investment.
You bought the property from the council.
They were encouraging people to do the right to buy. They had this new scheme out and we got a discount of 38% of the market value of the property.
Even with a reduction, buying this flat was a struggle for Beverly.
I saved up hard. I actually worked 2 jobs to earn the money to put the deposit down. I literally worked from 9 till 5 and then 6 until midnight. And I was really happy that I was able to buy my own home.
But 5 years ago, Beverly received a letter from Southwark Council revealing that all she had worked for, her home, was going to be bulldozed.
I'm going to be moved out due to my local council regenerating the estate and basically taking our homes under compulsory purchase.
The compulsory purchase order means Southwark Council can legally insist Beverly vacates her home. They've agreed to reimburse her for the property, but Beverly believes she's being ripped off.
Initially, I received an offer from Southwark of £65,000 and I rejected that offer. He then came back with another offer, £100,000, and I declined the offer. It's gone up to £117,000. That's their final offer.
And have you had separate private valuations from local estate agents?
I've had 2 private valuations. One initially was at £240, and just as recently as the last 4 months, I had another one at £290.
As a property developer, I think Beverlys' home is now worth about £300,000. That's more than double the sum the council have put on the table.
Which is a big difference from what they're offering me. And it's just, you know, it's unjust. It's just unbelievable. It's just like a nightmare.
Beverlys not the only one having sleepless nights on the Aylesbury estate. Several of her neighbours, also leaseholders, are facing the loss of their homes and possible financial ruin.
The council valued my flat at 80,000. There's quite a discrepancy between what the properties are valued at by the council, what they're valued at by local estate agents.
The council is offering me £145,000 for my 3-bedroomed property. And through my research, I've identified that within the area that I'm living in, the average is around £385,000.
All over London, dozens of ageing council estates past their prime are now being regenerated. Woodbury Downs in Hackney has gone from this to this. These luxury apartment blocks now house many of the council tenants who used to live here.
The regeneration that's happening in Woodbury Down is probably the best thing that's happened to the area. I used to be embarrassed to invite friends round from other areas to my old flat because it wasn't nice, but now it's a really nice flat and I'm proud of it.
Regeneration has been great news for many council residents all over the capital. Back in Southwark, once the Aylesbury estate has been modernised, all the council tenants will automatically be transferred to one of the new flats or given a home somewhere else in the borough.
Hi, it's Beverly. Just ringing to tell you I've got the bad news. Just received I think it's my notice for compulsory purchase order.
But Beverly has just opened a letter warning that she may have to move out by the end of the year. She now has no choice but to try and find a new home elsewhere.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's very tight though.
We've come to Hither Green in Lewisham, where estate agent Andrew Brown is showing her one of the very few properties in London she will be able to afford.
Oh, bathroom. You lead right into the bathroom.
It does. I'll show you into
and the kitchen is tiny.
It is a small flat. It's 220 square feet, so it is quite a small studio.
Gosh. This is very, very small.
It is.
Is this the bedroom? Is there a living room?
This is all one room, yeah.
So you live in here and sleep in? This
exactly.
is just unbelievable.
This is on the market for £110,000.
Wow.
So could you consider living here?
No, I'm actually getting shivers at the moment because I feel very claustrophobic in here. I can't believe this is what I worked all my life for, to end up with a property like this, because I couldn't live here. I don't think I need to step outside for 2 minutes. Sorry.
You must have some sympathy for the leaseholders that thought they were going to be here forever.
The estate is in desperate need of regeneration and now we're buying out leaseholders, but we're doing everything we can to work with them.
I'm raising some of the concerns of the homeowners on the Aylesbury estate with the head of Southwark's regeneration programmes.
Why is it that some leaseholders are being offered less than 50% of the market value for their properties?
And they are being offered market value for the properties, and they're being offered market value plus 10% for the inconvenience, obviously, of moving.
But it's not actually the market value, it's what you valued the properties at.
We are offering leaseholders a fair price.
It just seems very easy to be a council tenant and a lot harder to be a leaseholder on a compulsory purchase site. What options are in place for leaseholders that are going to have to leave their homes here?
We're offering people, leaseholders, a range of options of shared ownership, shared equity, properties.
What that means for us is if we receive
But Beverly and her neighbours say unless the council offer them more cash for their current homes, the new properties will be way out of their reach.
Leaseholders do not even have the option to return to the estate because they can't afford the properties which are currently going. A 2-bedroom is £405,000 and that's a shared ownership, a shared percentage of that property.
Across London, on the West Hendon estate, leaseholders have been living under a threat of compulsory purchase order for over a decade. They were first informed about it in 2002 when the council announced the area would be regenerated.
Everything was recognised by January 2003 that the estate would be knocked down, all the buildings would be finished and completed and everybody would be moved into their new homes by September 2012.
But that date has passed with no action, and 2 years on, the deadline has been extended until 2017. In the meantime, Jasmine and many other leaseholders on this estate have their capital locked in homes they just can't sell.
We know of areas where they've been under threat of a CPO for years and years, and they're very much in limbo. They can't sell it on to anyone else, so they're kind of stuck where they are.
Well, we've been in limbo since 2002, and we haven't really got any options. Walk away in debt is about the only option that we do have.
With bulldozers looming over Southwark, the homeowners have decided to fight for their homes.
We've come in here today to get an action plan because we're going to challenge Southwark.
On what ground?
On the fact that our valuations are too low.
Well, it's gentrification of the area, isn't it? They're moving out all the poor people.
It may seem a long shot, but what's at stake is everything they've ever owned, their homes and their future.
I regret buying under right to buy because I feel that the council has robbed me of my property and I will lose everything because I feel in the next few months I will be homeless.
Luke Doonan reporting there. Now then, still to come on tonight's show.
Drunkenness, particularly among women, is still on the increase in the Old Kent Road between 9:30 and 11 a.m. Oh dear, oh dear.
The story of Asher King, the little boy taken from Southampton General Hospital, shows how desperate people can get when the NHS says there's nothing more it can do. 2 years ago, we brought you the story of little Lily McGlashan, whose parents were in a similar situation to Asher's. But thanks to an experimental American vaccine, her cancer is now in full remission. Her story inspired one cancer charity so much, it's decided to bring that treatment here to the UK in the hope that it can help other children. Mark Jordan has the story.
We are at war with cancer. We've had our victories, but some battles are yet to be won. Each parent at this gathering knows their child might die from neuroblastoma, a rare childhood cancer.
The way of thinking around the world literally is that once you relapse with high-risk neuroblastoma, you have no chance of survival.
What do you do when respected foreign doctors tell you they can better your child's chances?
The figures in America come out between 20 and 30% extra chance of survival with immunotherapy. We had to raise funds to get our child to America.
It must be terrible to be in a situation where you think there are no options available to you here, but they must be available somewhere.
But by the end of the year, this same doctor will be administering one of America's most promising trials right here in Britain.
And it will be a vaccine trial.
This is a story of faith, hope, and charity. How ordinary people dug deep and reached for the clouds, cutting through the bureaucracy, the NHS, and the drug companies, raising enough for one of the most promising trials to come to Britain.
Excellent. Oh, Lily.
We've gotten to the point where we say, if somebody isn't cured, what went wrong?
To understand why these trials bring such hope, you need to meet Lily McGlashan from Dunstable.
You can see how veined her stomach was. I mean, she was more tumour than she was baby.
Over the years, I've been filming her incredible journey. In 2011, NHS doctors said they could do no more when her neuroblastoma relapsed.
She was completely covered in floating tumours.
It spread to her brain and her spine.
We were then taken into an office and told that take some pictures, make the best of her because it will be lethal.
I sat on my stairs and I screamed. I'll research it on the internet and I will find something.
Granny's laptop discovered a prestigious American cancer hospital offering a promising trial treatment.
About 75% of our children seem to grow up and move on, and neuroblastoma is not part of their issues anymore.
And before that?
Before that, unfortunately, we had no survivors.
Lily's 8H9 treatment at Memorial Sloan Kettering cost £1.2 million, all raised by charity. The result? Lily is in remission. The checkups go on. Up to now, they've all been NED, no evidence of disease. Amazing, 2 years on, being here and seeing Lily. Lily, how's it been?
Lily's doing really well. She's full of mischief. She's really willful and she just loves life.
And at one point, the NHS had told you there was no hope.